What's up, sons of Blong-Spricks? Today we're going to be reviewing set 2160, the LEGO Minecraft Illager raid. This set includes 6 characters from Minecraft, an amount of pieces that I don't know, and retails for $120 here in New Zealand. We're going to be taking a look at the characters, and then we're going to take a look at the build, and then we're going to go to my final thoughts. Without further ado, let's get started. So, our first minifigure that we'll be taking a look at is actually Kai, and a few of you are probably like, hey, I know that looks really similar to the red ninja from Ninjago, and that's because it is Kai from Ninjago. So what LEGO's done, right, is they've taken one of their characters, and then they've turned it into a Minecraft character and put it in the set, and I think that's really, really cool, because it shows that LEGO is creative and they're not just copying the game, but actually they're putting in their own things, and I really like that. But anyway, you can see that he's got a diamond sword, and he might have it enchanted, I'm not too sure. But my favourite thing about this minifigure probably is like the gold metallic printing. And as we turn around, we can see it, but it just looks so amazing and so cool. And like you can see the front has a lot of checkered patterns, because obviously it's Minecraft. And then the back, it's got like the Ninjago symbol, and then it's got like more metallic gold. So I think this minifigure is really cool. It's like one of the coolest crossovers. And yeah, we'll take a look at the villagers next. So the first villager we're taking a look at, he's simply named Villager on the box. But I did a little bit of research, and I believe this guy is an unemployed villager. So I think, like, he just walks around villages and doesn't do much all day since he's unemployed. But we can see that he's, like, a really cool minifigure. And I didn't actually realize that the villagers had, like, the baby legs. So that was really cool. And it's got some really nice printing on the arms. And when you compare it to the villagers in-game, it looks really wow. I just wish that LEGO could have made some hats so that they weren't just, like, bold. Because I find the villagers a little bit funny when they've got no hats on. And in the game, they're always wearing lots of hats. As you can see, there's no printing at all on the back or on the sides. The only printing is on the front, which I think is okay. And we'll be taking a look at the next villager. So here is the second villager from the set, and he's also simply called Villager. But I believe that here is a cleric from the game, and if I'm correct, I think he just sells you a lot of stuff that you don't want or need. And he, like, usually is hanging around the trading stand. But as you can see, he looks really similar to the other villager. But he's got a slightly different colour for, like, his torso. It's, like, purple. But everything else is the same. Obviously, no side printing, no back printing, no side printing, and just front printing again. So I guess now we should be taking a look at some of the Illagers. Here we have our first Illager of the set, and because it's an Illager raid, of course you're going to have some Illagers, but I actually did some research, and it turns out that Illagers aren't one particular mob in Minecraft, but they're actually a group of mobs, and Illager stands for ill-willing villagers. So I thought that was just something cool that I learned, and I thought it'd be interesting info for other people. But I believe this guy is a pillager, and he's got, like, he's special because he's got a big banner, so I think he's, like, the Illager patrol leader. But as you can see, he's got, like, a giant crossbow, which I believe is a new piece for the Illagers. And he's got a bit of, like, a checkered pattern on his shirt, and then he's got a metallic silver buckle. And then if we go to the back, there's some back printing, but it's covered up by his giant flag, which I'll show you. And then obviously no side printing, which is a little unfortunate. But he looks exactly like a villager. But since he's like an ill-willing villager who's been cast out of his village, obviously he doesn't like villagers. And he doesn't quite look like them. But if I just remove this, you can see he's got like quite a cool banner, which looks exactly, if my camera wants to focus, it looks exactly like the banner from Minecraft. And you can, like, remove this so that, like, when you defeat this dude in game, you can actually take the banner. And I think is really cool, but it's time to look at the other Illager. So this is the second Illager included in the set, and I believe this dude is called an evoker, and they basically go around and they can do some like magic spell things, and they also carry an axe, and you can see this dude has an iron axe, and they look really similar to a pillager, but their shirt's a little bit different, and you can see it's sort of like a checkered jacket. And then no side printing, sadly. And then his back, oh my gosh, my camera's terrible. But basically his back's a little bit checkered. Obviously no side printing. And then he isn't much different on the front. So that does it for the minifigures. We're now just going to quickly look at the cat and pig included in the set. So just quickly, there's a little pig that's included in the set. And I think it's really adorable. It's my first Lego Minecraft pig. And basically he's got like this custom printed head and like some cool legs, but there's nothing too unique about him. If you want, you could put a minifigure on the back, like you could have a villager riding him, but that doesn't really happen in the game much, so there's like no point in doing it here. We'll just take a look at the cat. Is it a quat or a cat? I don't know. So taking a quick look at the cat, we can see that his eyes, there's actually like two different colored eyes. It's hard to see on camera, but this dude's got like a black eye. It's got like the black pupil and the black pupil here, but this one is a white eye. That's a blue eye, so that's sort of odd actually. I never noticed that. But as you can see, I believe it's like a brown and yellow cat with a bit of black in there. And there's nothing too unique. Obviously, if you want, you can move the tail up and down. But I think it's quite adorable, and I'm happy that it's included in the set. So here, I just thought we'd quickly take a look at the Ravager. And you'll notice that this looks a little bit different to the one in-game. This one's sort of more brown, while the one in-game is a little more, like, grey colour. And I believe this is because Minecraft, they changed the colour of the mob, like, just before it's added into the game. But a lot of companies were given the brown version to make the toys from. So that's just my theory. But up here you can see you've got room where you can sit the pillager, because in the game the pillagers would normally be riding on the back of a ravager when they're going into battle. And then you can see he actually looks really nice. It's a little unfortunate you can't move his head or legs. I'm about to show you something really cool. So you can see there's this really awkward lever, and there's like a rubber band in there. And what you do is you press the lever down, and then his head goes, ah! Like, ah! And I think this is just a really cool feature. And I could sit here, I could like be at school working, and I just have this and then go like, ah! Ah! And I think this is really accurate too, and like, let's just see if it works. And it goes, yeah, yeah. See, it even works really well. And I just think this is a really cool addition, and I really like it. He's also got some printed eyes, which I think look phenomenal, and the nose is really cool as well. But yeah, and obviously I should probably show you this, but these like what would they call be antlers? Well, anyway, they move together and you have them about there. But I think this is really, really cool. But we'll now move on to the village part of this. So obviously this set is about a village being raided by Illagers. So it would make sense that they'd actually be part of the village. And this is part of a sand village, obviously, probably found in the desert. Well, this part's in the desert, and then this part is in the Sahara, is it called the Sahara biome? So I think that's quite cool how they've got, like, different biomes for this, but it just looks really phenomenal. And you can actually, what you do is you build this in 3 sections, and then right at the end, you connect them via these, like, modular pieces, and the carrots always fly everywhere. But there's these 2 pieces that connect them together, and then you're able to like reorganize it however you want. So I quite like that, and it means that you could buy multiple of the set and then have like this really cool custom village. And what I'm planning on doing is buying a few more and then building my own like buildings and then having those. But we'll take a look separately at each of these buildings, starting with the house and then the garden and then the trading section thingy. So the house, it's nothing too special, but it's still really cool. We can see there's like a dead plant, I think it is, and then we've got like some windows, we've got some more windows, and then we've got more windows. And I believe these would be like sand blocks, and then these would be like birch pillars. At least that's what I think they would be. And then this would be like an inverted sand stair. So that's just my assumption for these pieces and what they represent. Obviously, we've got like 2 baby cactuses in a pot, so I think that's quite cool. Obviously, I don't know too much about Minecraft. I just really like the set, so if I get anything wrong, please let me know. But then we've got a door here, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name of this door because I forgot. But it's quite cool because it's got like a little stopper which stops the door from going in. And then you're able to remove the roof, which is just like a bunch of plates, and then the 2x2 bricks, which I believe is sand orange. Just put that to the side, and we can see in here we've got a bookcase, which I'm just going to remove because I'm not going to remove it, but I think it's got a really cool build, and it really does make me think of a actual bookcase from Minecraft. And then we've got a crafting table, which is nothing special. And then we've got a furnace, and this is the version where it's got the 2 printed sides. This one is like cooking, but the other side is the same. It just doesn't have the cooking print. And then we've got would that be a cyan bed or teal? And it just looks really nice, and it looks like a really cool place where like Mr. Cleric would just want to, after a hard day's work, he'd be like, yeah. So yeah, I just really like this little building. It's really easy. It's easy to build. It's so simplistic, but it just really does its job. The only problem with it is I've looked at a lot of desert buildings in Minecraft, and I just can't seem to find this particular one. So either it's just Lego being creative, or it's like a building that's really rare. This little garden build is nothing too special. I believe this would be like a composter, which the farmer just gets like a whole bunch of like plants, and he just pops them in here, and then they turn into compost out the garden grow itself. And we can see, I think we've got some beetroot, we've got some unknown plants, then we've got some carrots growing here, I'm assuming, because these carrots over here. And then there's some wheat, there's some, would that be like wheat that's still growing? And then I'm assuming this is going to grow into wheat as well. And this looks really nice. These to me would probably be the sandstone steps, because obviously they like step in. And then this is probably just like a sandstone block. So it's quite nice. And then it's got this sand orange base, which would just be the pathway, I believe. But there's nothing too much going on. It's 16 by 16 size. But yeah, nothing too special. The only complaint I have is these carrots fall out. And to me, the trading post is actually like my favorite bit. Obviously, we can put like the cleric here, and then he can be doing his job. But there's actually quite a bit here. Like we can see there's a mini cactus in a pot, and that just like, they have you place in a really random spot, so it doesn't really matter where you put it. But I think the biggest part of the section is this, I think, is it pronounced acacia? This acacia tree. And I just think it looks really cool because it looks really similar to the one in game, which I think is really good because obviously it's based off the game, so if it doesn't look like the game, they've done bad. But I just think the tree looks really nice, and I want to build a whole bunch more and then have my own like Sahara with all these trees. But anyway, we've also got a chest here, and it's got a few diamonds, it's got a few emeralds, it's got an orange fish, which I don't know what that would be, maybe it's like salmon. And then we've got a bow and arrow, and you can see the chest is overflowing, so in game I'm assuming this would be like a really full chest. And then here we've actually got a wheat block, so if you want to build some Minecraft wheat, it's pretty simple build. You should have most of those parts. But my favorite block, probably from this whole set, would be I don't even know what it's called. But it just looks really, really nice, and I really like it. I know that Ashen Flash, he wants to buy more of these sets just so he can get these. And I can't blame him because they just look amazing. And yeah, I totally cannot remember the name of them, but they do look really nice. And then here we've just got a small bell, which I believe when the Illagers are raid, one of the village members rings it, and then they will run inside. But then we've just got this, like, it's like, I think where the villagers meet for, like, a town meeting. And it's where the villagers, like, trade and buy stuff. So it's a really simple build. I'm assuming that, like, these would be birch pillars. And then this would just be, like, a sand roof. And you can see there's a gap in the top. And then there's a little bit of water here. And then there's this, like, little post thing with a torch on top. But what's really, really cool, in my opinion, is that's supposed to be here, but it's this little armor stand, and you can take the head off and use this armor for Kai. But I think it's just really nice, and I believe this was in dark brown, but now they've made it in a tan color. So I believe this is birchwood, so it's made from birchwood, and it just looks really nice. But that probably does it for all three of the main buildings. So now let's go to my final thoughts and conclusions. So my final thoughts on the set is that it's really, really nice. So when I first bought this set, I wasn't expecting too much. I just thought it would be like a nice character bundle with a few nice builds. But now that I've built it and taken a good look at it, I'm really, really happy with the set. And like, the mechanism on the Ravager is just amazing. And those, like, colourful blocks look really cool. And there's just a lot of really nice builds in here and colours. And it just works together so well. And for $120, I feel like it's just the right price, right? Any more, and it would be overpriced. Any less, and it would feel like a good deal. So I feel like it's really worth it for $120. Now, there are a few things I wish were slightly better in this build. First, I don't think the building's actually from Minecraft, so if they could have built a house from Minecraft, that would have been great. And secondly, include more, like, Illagers, like maybe an extra evoker or something else, because in these raids, there are usually quite a few Illagers, so considering there's only 2 in the set is a little bit sad. So maybe include, like, one more Illager and one more villager, and then the set would probably be, like, perfect. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed it, obviously, please make sure to leave a like and please subscribe to the channel because I'm really close to 400 subscribers and it would mean a lot to me. Thanks for watching. Blongs Bricks out.